Hare Krishna, Namaste. Recently, I had an interesting conversation with a friend of mine who is also a practicing devotee. We know each other for a long time. In fact, I know his family very well, his parents too. They all live in a same place but in a distant location, maybe a overnight journey. In our casual, friendly conversation, we spoke many things. I was inquiring about his parents' well being. To my surprise, I got a shocking response. He said, I think they are doing good. Then I asked, are they now in Delhi or Mumbai? I got another shocking response. He said, I don't know, maybe in Mumbai, maybe in Delhi. But I continued. I did not leave the conversation. I asked, how are your brothers and sisters doing? He said, I think they are doing good. Then I asked, is your brother still in Delhi, working for the same company? He said, I have no idea what he is doing now. Now I lost my level of patience and asked him a direct question. Are you in touch with your parents and siblings? He said, nope. It's been few years I spoke to them. Then I asked, is everything okay with your relationship with your parents and brothers, sisters? He said, yeah, no issues. Everything is fine. They're on their own and I'm taking care of myself. Then I asked, that's fine. Why is that you're not in touch with them? He said, we don't get along. Well, just now you said there's no issues between you all. And he confirmed, yeah, there's no any issues, but then I am just keeping distance from them. I got curious and I asked, why? He said, they are materialistic people. They are not devotees. They are non-devotees. Then I said, so? He said, so, I do not connect with them. It is said in the scriptures that one should avoid the association of non-devotees. My parents are non-devotees. My siblings are non-devotees. Then I asked him, do you go to work? He said, yes. Is everyone at your workplace devotees? Is your supervisor, manager with whom you interact pretty much every day, is he a devotee? He said, no, but I do have to interact with them for my survival. I have a family, I have children, I have to take care of them, I need a job. For that purpose, I interact with them. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Padma Patram Ivambasa, as the lotus is untouched by the water. Then I was thinking to myself that devotees feel some sort of incompatibility between them and others who are not devotees. This is true even when it comes to our own parents, brothers and sisters and other relatives. Parents feel a distance from us and we feel the same. The incompatibility is between our habits, which doesn't match. We can't go to restaurants together. We can't watch movies together. We can't sit together and watch TV serials. We can't do many other things that they do. But the truth is, all these were happening before we became devotees. We were going to restaurant together, we were watching movies together, we were sitting and watching the TV serials and talking about relatives, friends and other things. But now all those things are stopped. But they are continuing, we are not. Just a side note, but there are some devotees who are very liberal. They compromise all these and do continue to be part of the same program even after getting initiated. They go to any restaurant, they watch movie together to show that they are the same and they love them. But in our humble opinion, devotees doesn't need to compromise their practices to show their affection and love. They have to rather set an example to them meaning to their parents, siblings, and relatives, and work out options in such a way we don't need to compromise our principles. If they do so, they are setting a bad example to others and also spoiling their spiritual growth as well. Anyways, but for those devotees who strictly follow their practices of Krishna consciousness, the changes happened in them, not with their parents. Parents are still the same, which means from the parents' points of view, it is we who have changed. They are the same. Therefore, the complaint is against us, whereas their love and affection remains same. This is according to them. When such situation comes, certainly it creates a gap, a distance from that relationship. They may think that we have gone too far away from parent-children relationship, from brother-sister relationship. Not that they hate each other, but they feel that there is nothing to connect both of them. When they meet, it is like a just formal gathering and greeting and visiting, internally feeling uncomfortable. And especially that relationship towards them get drastically impacted if those two parties are living in a distant place, in a distant countries. Thinking all this, then I gave a friendly suggestion to my friend that we have two options. And he said, what? Option 1, they must change to adopt your culture of Krishna consciousness. Number 2, you must change back to your old program. Compromise like some of those other devotees to keep your parents and siblings happy. He sarcastically laughed and said, both are not options at all. They will never change to become a devotee, and I will never change to become like them. I will not compromise anything that I practice. So it is better for me to stay away from them, stop interacting with them, try not to get engaged and entangled in their life. Let them do whatever they want, and I will do what I want, as both doesn't match. If I interact with them, if I talk to them, then I will come to know about their needs and expectations. Then I have to forcefully help them financially also. If I do so, I will get bad karma for helping a non-devotee. Rather, I will serve and spend for the devotees, not for these people who doesn't care for Krishna consciousness. So here, the children are thinking parents are not changing and taking up Krishna consciousness, whereas parents are thinking children have changed and they forgot their parents. They don't have love and affection towards them anymore. Children think we tried our best to make them Krishna consciousness, but they are not ready to listen and follow. Parents are thinking we have been following something for years, and how am I going to change what I've been practicing for so many years, which my parents have taught me. So both of them have their own view of how what they are doing, what they are thinking is right. The children who are devotees, like in case of my friend here, tried to preach to his parents, but they didn't listen, they didn't want to change. Then he decided it's their karma, let them take care of themselves. I am sure Krishna has some plans for them. So I will safeguard my Krishna consciousness practices by keeping a complete distance from my parents. I felt that is not the final solution for such situation. So I tried to continue my discussion with my friend. I told him, Prabhu, first basic principle as human, which is stated by Shastra, is to be kind to everyone, help everyone as much as possible, serve everyone. then what to speak of our parents? To that, my learned friend quoted a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. Devarishi bhutapta nrinam putranam na kimkaro nayam rinicha rajan sarvatmanaya sharanam sharanyam gato mukundam parihritya kartam. He said, what you said, applicable for common people, not for devotees. Devotees are not indebted to devatas, to rishis, to any living beings, relatives, friends, mankind, or even one's forefather. Therefore, I don't have any obligation towards my parents. Devotees doesn't need to worry about these things. It's only karmis who have to do those things. Then I told, yeah, Shastra says these things, but also Shastra says that one must take care of their parents. Let me narrate a story from scripture. Once there was a young man who left his home, went into forest in search of God. He was in meditation for many days. One day there was a heavy storm. The whole area was filled with water. But to one's surprise, the area where this young man was sitting and meditating was dry and safe. Nothing was happening in that area. He was protected. When this man came to his external consciousness, he was surprised to see what has happened and also astonished to see his area was safe. Then he noticed there was a big, huge sized bull who was standing right above him and was protecting him until that point. After things got settled in that area, everything got dried. The bull then started moving away from him in the opposite direction. This young man ran behind the bull, stopped the bull, and thanked the bull deep from his heart. Said he wants to do something for the bull. The bull started speaking. It said, instead of showing your gratitude to me, instead of wanting to give something to me, please take care of your parents. Show your gratitude to them who have done so much for you in your life, for you to be today as you are. If they were not there, where would you be? Instead of taking care of your parents, focusing on them, you led them selfishly for your needs. You are seriously failing to do your duty. Hearing this from the bull, the young man realized, paid his obeisances to the bull who was none other than Dharmaraj himself, and returned back to take care of his parents. Hearing this, my friend said, well, I am not being selfish to just take care of myself. I am doing a lot of services. I am preaching. I am educating people in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, I do not fit into this category. Then I said, yes, but what is stopping you to be good with your parents? You are serving everyone but not your parents. Vaishnavas are para dukkha dukhi. They cannot tolerate others' suffering. Vaishnava janato tene kahiyeje pide parai jane re. A person is called as Vaishnava who feel the pain of others, help those who are in misery. It is a basic duty for a son or daughter to take care of their living parents, irrespective of they are being a devotee or not, whether they accept your philosophy, your practices or not. If you tried explaining them the importance of Krishna consciousness multiple times and they're still not willing to take up the process, they're not willing to change, then let them be as they are, but you continue to show your support to them unconditionally, meaning don't keep your support factor based on whether they are devotee or not. When we have to help someone, we got to do it. And also helping parents, supporting parents is not going to create karma to you. Rather, if you fail to do, it will create karma to you. Let me ask you something. How many times you refused their advices when you were a kid? Did they stop supporting you that time because you were not listening to them in spite of they telling you multiple times multiple things? He said no, they continue to take care of my needs. But then he said, I was a child that time. I was not matured. I didn't have that knowledge that I have to listen to my parents' good advices. But my parents are no more children. They are grown up, they are older than me, and still they are not ready to listen my good advices. Therefore, I am not inspired to do anything for them. Then I asked him, does your principle, what you just said, applies to your children as well? Meaning, when they grow up and they still don't listen to you, will you cut off your connection with them? Will you not support them when they need something from you? Will you not take care of their children, that is your grandchildren? If they come and ask some financial support, won't you do something for them? Because your children are not devotees, will you write off your savings, wealth, property, everything to the temple or other non-profit organization 100%? Will you tell your children not to take care of your final rights when you leave your body because they are not devotees? My friend did not respond to that question. He stayed quiet. I expected a response from him. I told him to say something. Then he said, no, they are still my children, whether they listen to me or not. It is my duty as a parent to take care of them, provide them what they need unconditionally. They are the ones to take care of my final rights. Then I said, why the same principle doesn't apply to your parents? It appears to me that there's a duplicity in the way that you're dealing your children and your parents. Again, he was speechless. Then I told him the same sloka he quoted about how he doesn't have obligation because he's practicing Krishna consciousness, practicing Bhakti Yoga. No obligation to parents, relatives, friends, devatas, etc. I told him, you can apply that sloka in your life if you are 100% Krishna consciousness. Dedicate your life for Krishna, Krishna alone. You have given up all other responsibilities and you're only dependent on Krishna. Not on your health insurance, not on your job, not on your savings, not on anyone else except Krishna. If you are so, then Krishna will take care of you and also others who are related to you. Still no response from my friend. Then I put my hand on his shoulder and said, irrespective of our parents being devotee or non-devotee, it is our responsibility, duty to take care of them. Even full-time devotees like brahmacharis and sannyasis, they are in touch with their parents at least occasionally whenever they get chance, just to make sure they are doing okay and support them in any possible ways that they could. And you being a grahastha, you have more responsibility than them. Don't show your frustration. Don't show your disappointment. Don't scold them. Don't get irritated. Do not neglect them. And do not taunt them in your conversation, even if it requires to satisfy some of their material needs. Do it. Do that as your duty as their son without any expectation. It is not required to be very attached to them, but very important not to fail in your duty to take care of them nicely. If you fail to do this, there are chances that you may lose the opportunity to make them a nice devotee. If you leave them unattended, then they may even stop doing little what they were doing for your sake. Not only that, they may also develop hatred towards Krishna consciousness. They will complain that this Krishna consciousness has taken away their son from them. Like how we maintain patience with our children, with their behaviors, the parents are the same. As they get older, they become like kid. We must give them enough time. We were like that till yesterday. We did not change overnight. Even now, we are not fully surrendered. We have our own challenges, attachments, etc. Then what to speak about them? When we talk to those who are in a highest level in Krishna consciousness, they may tell us that you have to do more, Prabhu. You still have pride, anger, greed, lust, etc. So from their position, the senior devotees, from their position, we are not fully in Krishna consciousness yet. But out of their compassion, such great souls, gurus and senior devotees are giving us their time for us to grow. They guide us. Similarly, we also must maintain patience and give enough time to our family members to grow. We have to learn to balance the situation nicely. Balance between our practices, our Krishna consciousness, and our other responsibility of taking care of family, taking care of parents. Most importantly, you don't need to become one among them like how you were before becoming a devotee. You don't need to show your love by getting entangled in those activities. You draw a line around yourself. Set an expectation to your parents. Stop preaching to your parents because they are not ready yet. You set an example by your action. That is more powerful than you sitting and giving a lecture to them hours together. When they see how you are towards them and how you are strong in your practices and trying to find a ways in which you can work with them cooperatively, they will appreciate your intention. They will appreciate your good qualities. When you become the object of their appreciation, that becomes the seed for their bhakti. Also, you are not greater than Bhakta Prahlad, and your parents are not worse than Hiranyakashipu. Then what is your problem? Even Bhakta Prahlad was very compassionate towards his father. After some moment of silence, then my friend finally spoke with quavering voice. I have committed big mistake. I have several times ignored their calls too. As a devotee, I failed to be a good example to my parents and my siblings. Now I realize my mistakes. I will take care of my parents without any expectation and without compromising my Krishna conscious practices. I said, thank you very much for understanding and willing to serve your parents, and let me know if I could be of any service to you and to them.